It's time for a cup of coffee with Will and Chris at Slumberland Furniture. From Slumberland Furniture in Osage Beach, here are your hosts, William Holtz and Chris Schneider.
Howdy ho, Ranger Joes, Wild Will,
Uncle Chris.
Time for another cup of coffee from Slumberland at the Lake, and this week, another good show. We got an upcoming daddy-daughter dance event with the Pregnancy Help Center.
Yep.
We're gonna have Nicole Thayer on, and maybe even a special little guest for that. Plus, we're gonna talk about some lake area headlines. First, I wanted to share Lake Expo shared their article of fall colors around the lake. If you haven't seen them, now is the time to get ready to see those. So we'll run down that list. Plus, we'll talk about some football and a whole lot more on this week's Cup of Coffee. But first, brand new featured sale starting right here at Slumberland at the Lake. To tell us more, Daryl Cunningham.
Hey everybody, Daryl Cunningham with Slumberland Furniture at the Lake. Got some great news. We're going to have a fall flash sale going on this week, this Thursday through Monday. Not only are we going to have great deals on sale items, we're also going to have lots of fun playing games to win prizes. We're going to have some refreshments. We're going to get good deals on delivery and financing. Come check us out at Slumberland Furniture, where we're bringing happy home.
Back now with Nicole from the Pregnancy Help Center, and she is the development director. And so, Nicole, you guys have a really exciting event coming up. It's the daddy-daughter dance. But before we get into that, I wanted to give you an opportunity to kind of share with what the Pregnancy Help Center does and why you guys exist.
Absolutely. So we are a faith-based pro-life ministry here at Camdenton, Lake of the Ozarks. We also have a center in Versailles. Our values and mission and vision are consistent with the intrinsic value of pro-life. And we do free pregnancy testing, ultrasounds in the first trimester. We have a boutique where they can come and shop and get supplies. We also do parenting classes that are online that includes prenatal and postpartum education. We don't just serve women, but we also serve single men and families here in Camdenton at the lake. So we do a lot of different things to help the community, and especially those who are facing unplanned pregnancy.
And we got a little guest here all of a sudden, and that I guess will prompt me now that we know a little bit about the Pregnancy Help Center. And I gotta say, I love your guys' organization. So needed down here. And this event coming up, the daddy-daughter dance party, your winter wonderland. Pretty excited about. Brindley was here to help, but her window of patience, as you can see, was just a couple of seconds. But We're really excited about your event. So tell us about your guys' daddy-daughter dance.
So like I mentioned, we're not just for single moms, but also for families and for single dads. And we definitely have seen the importance of the active father's role in the lives of their children. And so we just wanted to put together an event that would celebrate that and would help fathers who are active create memories with their daughters for years to come.
And I love that because when you think about single parent homes or that early stage of finding out that you're pregnant, and for young couples, single parents, whether it be mother or father, it can be intimidating, it can be overwhelming. You're not really sure, where do you go? Where do the help come from? And so you just typically think of single moms. Most people don't even think about single dads, but that is something. And so for you guys to stress that and have this event, that's really cool. And so when are you guys having the daddy-daughter dance?
It is November 19th, which is a Saturday from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Exchange in Camdenton.
Which is an awesome venue, and it's, as you said, from 6 to 8. And listen, I would register early. It's $30 to register ahead of time, or you can sign up and get your tickets the day of the event for $35. But what I saw on your guys' flyer that looked really cool was there is a mac and cheese and beverage bar. What is that exactly?
Yeah, so mac and cheese bar, we will have 3 different kinds of mac and cheese, a shell with white cheddar, your typical Thanksgiving macaroni and cheese, and then probably some boxed cheese because mac and cheese because kids, some of them will only eat the boxed macaroni and cheese, right?
Not just the kids, you know.
Yeah, but we wanted to do something that we know that the kids would eat, but also could be dressed up for the dads. So we plan to have pulled pork and shredded chicken, diced ham, bacon, some different toppings so that they can dress it up if they want to, barbecue sauce, buffalo sauce, ranch, that sort of thing.
And killer. And listen, not only a great night for dads to get out with their little miss, but also support a great cause, because the funds that are raised from this event, I know they go to a lot of things like pregnancy tests and the supplies and materials that you guys need. Because I often tell people, we were familiar with when we found out that we were pregnant, we weren't really sure where to go, what to do, who to turn to. And we went to the Pregnancy Help Center, and it was amazing, the help and the lack. There was not a lot of pressure. There wasn't a lot of judgment. It was a very, very welcoming, peaceful environment, and that really went a long distance for us. And we got, a pregnancy test that kind of plugged us into the resources where we needed to go, and it made all of the difference. And so for those watching that may not know, how do you reach out to, or where do you find where you guys are located? You guys are online, and where are you guys actually located?
Yeah, so you can definitely check out any of our websites, and we're also on social media. We have a pretty good platform there. We have a client website and we have a donor website. The registration for this event, there is a link directly from our donor website, which is phclozpartners.com. And
if you go to like your guys' Facebook page, there will be those hyperlinks and things to click to take you there, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Fantastic. So officially it is Saturday, November 18th from 6 to 8 at the Exchange in Camdenton. It's the Winter Wonderland Daddy-Daughter Dance with the Pregnancy Help Center. And outside of this, there's other events you guys do throughout the year, correct, that we can get behind and support?
We do. We have a chili cook-off coming up in March, and then next October we will have our 5K walk run.
Both great events. So Nicole, thank you so much for what you do with the Pregnancy Help Center and taking some time with us. Get ready. We're just a few weeks away from the Winter Wonderland Daddy-Daughter Dance. We'll be right back to wrap up this week's edition of A Cup of Coffee.
The 11th season of high school football on Lake TV has been so much fun. We close out the regular season this week with Eldon at home against Boonville, a great Tri-County Conference battle. Who goes into the playoffs on a roll? The Mustangs or Pirates? William Holtz and Mike Bissell bring you the action. It starts at 6:30 with a COMC pregame show. Kickoff at 7. Join us Friday night for the regular season finale. Then it's on to the playoffs on Lake TV.
Hey, so really cool event, as we told you about, coming up Saturday, the 18th of November, and they do a couple of events throughout the year. You remember the annual chili cook-off?
Yes, how could I forget that? Love chili.
And they ran, last year was the first year they did it, that whoever won the annual chili cook-off got their chili featured next year during a month at a restaurant. Well, that restaurant is one of my favorites, Redhead Lakeside Grill, and this month, for the entire month of October, that's their soup of the day, the winner from last year's chili cook-off. Their chili on special. Every bowl, cup they sell, portion of the proceeds go right back to benefit the Pregnancy Help Center. How cool of a contest is that? So whoever won that, I wish I had the name. I should have asked Nicole before she left. Their homemade chili is featured at a lakeside restaurant. Not just a lakeside restaurant, like Redhead Lakeside Grill is the cream of the crop, I mean, when it comes to lakeside restaurants. So really cool, really looking forward to that event, although we can't attend. Just love the idea of daddy-daughter dance and focusing on single fathers. That's something you don't typically think about. All important nonetheless, right?
Absolutely, man. Yeah, and especially in this world today where it's so hard to be a parent and the families are under attack and everything like that, to have these organizations, specifically this organization, doing something to help, to prop it up, to make it better and easier for parents and for fathers in particular. That is so cool. What a great organization.
Yeah, absolutely love that. Another shout out to Nicole Thayer and her team for what they do over there at the Pregnancy Help Center. All right, so some lake area headlines. We'll leave the doom and gloom. Not really doom and gloom. No one got too seriously hurt. We're going to save that story for last. We're going to talk about fall colors around the lake, something that a lot of people may never get down to Lake of the Ozarks this time of the year, but our friends at Lake Expo, they always do come out with a good rundown of areas to see. But now is the time, Chris, that these green trees that we see around us are right on the verge of making that turn, and we're starting to see some of those oranges and yellows and reds.
It's so gorgeous around here too, and this is the prime time to see it during the year right now and into early November. And Lake Expo says a really good tool for tracking autumn colors in the area is the Missouri Department of Conservation's Fall Color Forecaster, and that can be found online at mdc.mo.gov/trees. trees dash plants slash fall dash color. I hope Andy can put that on the screen for us.
I was just going to say, go to the Lake Expo article and hit the
there you
link.
go.
That'd be a lot
That would
easier.
be smarter.
But fall colors peak in the central region typically in mid to late October when the maples, ashes, oaks, and hickories are at the height of their display, according to the MDC. So listen, we're right in the middle of October, and any bridge around the lake is a great area, right?
Oh, yeah.
Toll Bridge in particular, the lookout there with JB Hooks, and you've got that free lookout across the historic Bagnell Dam Boulevard all the way up. Any of those areas are great. The toll road is really cool because you see a lot of eagles. You notice by Portachima there must be some eagles' nests because I've seen a ton of eagles this year. But I love this time of the year, and it kind of gets the reputation for being the dying season of the Lake of the Ozarks, hustle and bustle tourist season. But one of the many reasons to love fall, early winter at Lake of the Ozarks is those fall colors.
Yeah.
Do you know of anywhere else nationwide that provides quite that landscape and setting?
The northeast area, New England area gets a lot of press about having great, beautiful falls up there, and they do. But I think it's just as, if not more, beautiful down here at the Lake of the Ozarks. And here, you can go out on the water and look on them. Now, it's cool, so you want to take a coat and a blanket and stuff like that. But if you've got a way to get out on the water on a nice day and look at the fall colors from the lake, oh my goodness gracious, there's nothing like it. And you can't get that in New England, for the most part.
And we were just showing you, as we talk about fall colors, some video that our drone videographer Daniel Carnahan with Skyview Photography got a couple of years ago at Ha Ha Tonka. But hey, we encourage you, if you get good photos or good video clips, you can send those to our Facebook page. You can email those to info@mylaketv.com. And we'd love to feature those not just on social media, but in promos on our network of stations. We'd love to have that, and we encourage you to send those in. All right, so not just fall colors. Another thing, sunsets at the lake are just unbelievable.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, they really are. I mean, but our area is just so picturesque. It is just so beautiful. And it's not just the lake, it's the rolling hills, it's all the vegetation, all the trees, and the weather is usually pretty freaking awesome. So we pretty much got it all here. I joke about it, but it's true. I think this is the best place, not only in America, but maybe in the world, to be living right now.
It's our little slice of paradise right here at Lake of the Ozarks. In the heart of the Lake of the Ozarks is Osage Beach. And did you see there's a possibility that our longest airstrip, the Lee C. Fine Airport, might actually be obtained by the city of Osage Beach?
Yeah, this was the first I'd heard of this airstrip. I know Camdenton Airport did some renovations a few years ago and lengthened their runways out there, but here, and this story just kind of blew me away. It's the longest airstrip of the Lake of the Ozarks. Like you said, the Lee C. Fine Memorial Airport has long been operated by the city of Osage Beach on land leased from the Missouri Department of Natural Resources. It's about 5 miles from the city limits. But thanks to a pending agreement between the two entities, the city of Osage Beach could soon own the airport and the ground under it. And there's 245 acres that they have plans to do things with to make this looks like a big airport, man.
Yeah.
And how cool is that? But that's one of those key things that an area needs to handle big growth, big incoming people for tourism and stuff like that. This could be a boon for the economy here.
100%. And according to Lake Ozark, in order for the deal to happen, the Missouri legislature would have to pass enabling legislation which would permit the DNR to transfer the land. Now, if all goes smoothly, Bradbury said the transfer could happen next summer. The city says the Lee C. Fine is critical for the continued growth of the lake community. And now it's the city's larger of two airports. The Grand Glaze Airport is the smaller and is an asset to the area's economy through job creation, facilitating trade, enabling tourism, as you alluded to, and supporting the economic development for years to come. Now, it's got 6,500 foot of runway, and it sports the longest airstrip here at Lake of the Ozarks, and it is hands down the best runway at the lake, Bradbury enthused. Now, he's the counsel to the city of Osage Beach. He said the city is in the process of developing a master plan for the 385 acres, which would be developable developable
That's a hard word there, isn't it?
developable for supporting infrastructure around the airport. So pretty cool. So like you said, this could mean we might see more opportunity, more air traffic through this area with plans to expand and grow. And I mean, I don't know, but I don't see this being a negative thing. This looks like a real pro for Lake of the Ozarks, potentially.
It really does. And I think maybe a kudo to Mayor Harmison and stuff like that. When he took office, or when he ran for office, he promised that he would be looking out for opportunities like this that would be good for the community, good for the city, good for growth. And he's lived up to that. I mean, he has definitely gone out of his way to do that, whether it's that new theme park they've started to build on.
Which, listen, have you seen the progress?
I have seen, yeah, that's amazing.
Sorry to interrupt, but you said that, and we weren't even going to mention that, but I saw they got that huge retaining wall, built basically, which is looking really good. And you're right. I mean, it hasn't always been popular. There's been questions. There's been some controversy. But Mayor Harmison said from the moment he got elected that he was going to hit the ground running. Yeah. He was going to be aggressive in his pursuit for development opportunities and financial opportunities for the city of Osage Beach. And you are right, partner. He has absolutely followed through on that.
Yeah, and it's interesting because this isn't just a new relationship between the entities, the city and this airstrip. They've been working together for quite a while. In this story, it says the city would obtain the 385 acres there that's in the state park, including the airport, at no cost, in exchange for taking over the approximately 14 miles of wastewater infrastructure. In the Lake of the Ozarks State Park, the park's wastewater infrastructure is already connected to the city's collection system. So they've already been working together, and it looks like they're just taking it to the next stage. And since it would be at no cost, that would obviously be great for the city, but it would probably also be great for the state park too, because the city would be taking care of that.
Yeah.
So it seems like it would be a win-win.
So we'll wait to see if the deal happens. Of course, they said that legislature would have to take place first. Okay, so hey, could have been a lot worse. And another local headline, Ozfest fireworks was an event locally.
Yeah.
It's basically, as the Lake Expo's article reads, it's a festival, Ozfest, and it ended abruptly on Saturday night when a rogue rocket reportedly exploded the event into mayhem. Now, it's an annual fireworks extravaganza as well as a competition. Sounds kind of cool, right? With highly coordinated displays, often even synchronized to music. Now, the public may attend by purchasing tickets, and this year's event was over the weekend, the 13th and 14th. Lake Expo quotes, according to eyewitnesses, in the middle of one of the shows, the evening of the 16th, which would have been Saturday night, one of the fireworks went off trajectory and exploded in the midst of a group of vehicles. An eyewitness who spoke with the emergency responders on scene had told Lake Expo that the explosion shattered the glass on more than a dozen vehicles and deployed some vehicles' airbags, including the airbags of a fire truck.
Wow.
One person reportedly suffered minor injuries, though Lake Expo was not immediately able to confirm the extent of those injuries or whether any individuals were hurt. Now, the event was canceled or ended early as a result of the incident, and organizers weren't able to be reached for comment on Saturday night. Now, luckily, this wasn't worse, and when you're talking about fireworks, there's always this type of risk, and the article almost made it seem worse than it was, because anytime you attend something like that, we've seen it, Chris, at events together.
Yeah.
Fireworks, they're very popular at sporting events and big celebrations. Misfires can happen. It happens all the time. I mean, you're playing with fire, you're playing with bombs.
Yeah.
And so this one, it did shatter some glass, and there was, it looked like, a minor injury reported, but could have been a lot worse. And I'm glad that our report wasn't about any serious injury, any fatality, because it wasn't really disastrous. I mean, a rogue rocket blew up, some cars need to be replaced, some windows.
Could have been a lot worse.
Scary situation, but everybody was able to go home by the end of it.
You know, it makes me smile because you have had a couple of mishaps with fireworks over the years. I mean, scary mishaps where somebody could have been hurt. So now when we're at like a fireworks show together, I'll be looking, where did Will go? You know, and usually go inside, out of the way to be safe. Because, I mean, if you have had a close call with those things, you remember that gets a little spooky and scary. And I tell you what, people have blown fingers off, hands off. It's not a joke. It's a real thing, man.
Listen, if the people out there complaining about, constitutionally behaving, aligning citizens, having big guns, but yet no one has a problem with drunk hillbillies on the 4th of July going out, spending hundreds of dollars on bombs and, to go and then blow these up. I'm surprised we don't have more mishaps. It's one of the greatest mysteries is how did we ever allow people to freely go buy these things and without supervision or a certain permit or safety or making sure that you've got water and not, so many factors. Blows my mind that we don't have more. And so, yes, a couple of mishaps. I am very cautious when it comes to fireworks.
Probably wisely so.
Indeed. All right, so as we move past local headlines, you know that we love football here. We're not going to spend too much time on it. If you want to watch our entire high school football weekly recap show, you can check that out on our Lake TV Facebook page as well as my Facebook page. But we do want to talk about the Missouri Tigers.
Yeah.
Wow.
What a huge win. Yeah, they go on the road, and we just amongst ourselves, we make our predictions every week, and I thought Kentucky was going to win. You knew Mizzou was going to win.
How many did I predict to win by?
I think I think it was 17, wasn't it?
It was.
And they won by, was it 17?
They did.
So, for me, one of the most impressive things about the Mizzou win was it was on the road and they got behind early, didn't bother them a bit. They just came right back, took the lead, got tied up, but just kept on going. This is an impressively good team. I tell you, Coach Drinkwitz is doing a good job.
I got to say, this is the most impressive of Missouri's wins to date. And here's why, because Brady Cook didn't have an overwhelmingly big game. He was averaging such big numbers coming in. Schrader had a decent game, but Luther Burden, only 2 catches for 15 yards, his lowest output not only of the season, but second lowest output of his career. And Missouri got behind early and unconventionally found a way to not just win on the road, but really blow out a team that got up early 14-0. Missouri outscored the Wildcats 38-7 the remainder of the game. Defense was strong without a couple key parts. To me, a huge victory, and now Missouri goes back home for homecoming this Saturday against the South Carolina Gamecocks, who are 2-4. Missouri a chance to go to 7-1, and that would set up a date in a couple of weeks in Athens, Georgia, against the undefeated number 1 ranked Georgia Bulldogs.
And Mizzou almost knocked off Georgia last year. Georgia was a power train last season. Remember the national championship game? They beat TCU by like 40 points.
Yeah.
Georgia was a power, and Mizzou almost beat them last year. I'm not saying they're going to beat them this year, but don't count them out, right? And Mizzou's already qualified for a bowl game. That's big. There's a lot of teams out there that are still trying to get up to the 6 wins to make it to a bowl, but you're an elite team when you've qualified for a bowl game halfway through the season.
So that is true. It's a big deal in college football to be eligible for a bowl and get there. And Elijah Drinkwitz, in his first 3 years, he went to a bowl all 3 years. He's yet to win a bowl game. So Missouri fans say, listen, we're tired of 6 wins. We're tired of losing insignificant bowl games. We're not only bowl eligible, Missouri's got a chance to play in a massive major bowl game this year that they would be expected to win. And so the excitement around the University of Missouri right now and the entire really the whole university, not just the sports, but everything going on, including with the basketball program. They're on an upward trajectory, and I cannot remember in my life of being a diehard. There's not many probably people that love the university, ZOU, as much as I do. I've never been as excited and as encouraged and as optimistic about the state of the University of Missouri, our flagship university. As that university goes, so does the state of Missouri. And same thing can be said for the Kansas City Chiefs, who aren't even looking their strongest on offense. As a matter of fact, you could argue the Chiefs' offense right now is their weakness. Their special teams is strong. Their defense is strong. And they're sitting 5-1, first place in the AFC. And there's no undefeated teams left after the Eagles and 49ers got upset. So Chiefs tied for the best record in all the NFL, sitting at the 1 seed, and a big cushion in the AFC West right now. Things look good for the Chiefs.
Yeah, they do. And like you said, they're not playing great. They're the typical Chiefs where they're just getting by, playing well enough just to win. But they were like this last year too, and I gave up on them. I said, there's no way this team can win a Super Bowl. And by golly, they did. They went on and won the Super Bowl. They're doing the same thing this year, and maybe it's smart from Coach Red, where he's not getting them too peaked, too high, too fast. It's just kind of, slowly bringing them up to get them ready for the playoffs, and hopefully by that time they'll be ready to rock and roll. I tell you, I was really impressed with Cleveland, the way they upset San Francisco last week. That was an impressive game.
Well, so back to KC real quick. I have not seen the Chiefs with the defense this strong, and I believe that Frank Clark is expected and has re-signed with the Chiefs.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Big deal. So, I mean, this defense is unbelievable right now, and you're seeing the difference that Chris Jones. People, you remember when Chiefs fans said, oh, we can do it without him? I remember they were a little negative and didn't like the way he held out. But what a difference he makes. He leads all defensive tackles in pro football and quarterback pressures and quarterback hits. I think he's second in sacks, too. So Chiefs looking good, and I wanted to give a shout-out to Kevin, our buddy Kevin Hornick. He took first place in our Pick'em League. Sierra took second, and Uncle C took third.
Yeah.
Overall for the season, Sierra's in first place by 10 points over the Kitchens, Tom and Michelle, with 514, and right there on their tail, you're in third at 513. So we'll see what happens over the rest of the way. Still a lot to be decided.
Where are you at in that? Are you pretty close?
I'm actually not far behind Andrew, who's not far behind you. So I'm far, okay? I'm far.
By the way, we need to get Andrew a date, right? So we were talking about that before the show. He's such a catch. Good-looking guy, hard worker. Hey, single girls out there, let us know if you're interested in Andy. Do we have a picture of Andy we can put up on the screen?
Too bad he edits the show. He probably won't put it in there, but his face is as beat red as I can remember. Hey, before we wrap up this week, wanted to tell you about a really cool opportunity with Central Ozarks Medical Center. They're offering an in-house dental assistant training opportunity. Applications will be on the COMC website through Bamboo. The application ready to go. First application deadline is October 27th, and they got a late application deadline for November 10th. November 24th, they will conduct candidate interviews, and then in early December, candidates will be notified if they're selected for the program. It's going to be a 19-week program with a 1-week break. The dates will be determined. January 8th will be the first day of class. COMC and the Delta Dental Grant will provide for the student textbooks to utilize during the program and to be returned at the end of the session, 2 pairs of scrubs, and will pay for the student to take the basic skills exam once, and there's a scholarship stipend provided to the student. Students will be eligible to apply and interview for any open positions with COMC at the end of the training program. So if you're looking about a potential career field in the medical field, now's your chance. Information on these classes and how to apply can be found at www.centralozarks.org under the Careers tab. But Central Ozarks Medical Center taking advantage of this Delta Dental Grant Program, and they're opening up some opportunities for you guys. So if that's you, like I said, the first deadline is October 27th with the second deadline November 10th. So go to centralozarks.org and click on the Careers tab. What a cool program.
Yeah, and you can't get any better than COMC. They are some great people over there, wonderful organization. What an opportunity. Look into that.
Yeah, really excited for that. Okay, so also some stuff happening on Lake TV. You could catch Weekend at the Lake with David Leatherberry Thursday through Sunday. That's coming to a close at the end of the month. Now, and that concludes our #1 resource for upcoming events is funlake.com/events. That's done with the Convention and Visitors Bureau. They do a great job of all your events. Plus, this week on Lake TV on our Community Spotlight show airing right now, we have Bill Eigel, who's a gubernatorial candidate for the governor's seat in the state of Missouri. A lot of momentum for him.
Yeah, he's really been picking up some steam. Nobody really knew much about him. So we thought we would sit down and talk with him, find out what he's all about, to let you know, what they think, let you decide who you want to vote for. So it'll be interesting to get to know this guy, see what he's about, and see if he has a chance against the big boys, Ashcroft and whatnot. There's some big names.
Parson, of course, is the governor, and his lieutenant governor, Kehoe, he's running. Mike Kehoe, very well known across the state. Also, don't forget, this Friday, we are back in Eldon for the regular season finale. If you want to catch all of the rundown of the local high school teams here in the Lake area, catch our weekly rundown. Big shout out to our crew here at Slumberland at the Lake for having us. Andrew Evans, the man, the myth, the legend, for putting it all together. Until next week, Uncle Chris, I'm Wild Will. We'll see you then.